Welcome, Leo, to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 22nd of April for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. On the screen now, I'm showing the event chart right at the start of the week. The big takeout is the arrival of the Sun last week into the most prominent part of your chart. So you can see at 2 degrees and 21, but near your 10th house cusp. The Sun is where we're going to really direct our energies in a particular phase. So for you, this is very much about how you connect to the wider world. Now, not everybody wants to be a business tycoon, raise their profile in terms of goals and ambitions, but whether it is to do with your leadership qualities, working in the community, guiding people that you're supportive of, that are close to you, you're just going to take a much greater leading role. And of course, last week we had that glorious conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus, suggesting that over the next 14 years, you're heading in a new direction, potentially, in terms of showcasing your talents, but perhaps in a fresher way, a different way. All the skills and knowledge you've accumulated so far can be showcased in this new manner, and that process is going to be helped at the start of this week by the role of Mars. Now, Mars is in Pisces, which softens the thrust of Mars somewhat, but for you this is house 8, shared resources but business. And since Saturn moved into this position just over a year ago, you may have found it a little bit difficult to really gain the traction that you wanted, but things can really be clarified in a very dynamic way now if you're prepared to flex, because the sign of Taurus can be resistant to change and has been resistant to the attentions of Uranus full time since March 2019. So you yourself may have been a little bit reluctant or very restless around your work during that time. Now I feel the Sun's arrival gives you the chance to really put a lot of extra vitality into this area. What's not to like? Well, Pluto is in your 7th house and right on the 7th house cusp. And it's possible your determination to really go for it and showcase what makes you special could in some ways threaten someone that you're closer to who may prefer to maintain the status quo. And this can all come up to the boil on Tuesday's full moon, because over the following 2 weeks, the toggle between the thrust of the Sun and the more receptive energies of the moon, which for you is in the 4th house, which is quite tender, means that classic work-life balance might be a little bit hard to achieve. And part of the reason for this, if you've been more of a caregiver in a relationship, a partner may feel that really should be your primary role. But if you're wanting to evolve from that, that's where that sense of challenge can come from. Then again, perhaps you're needing to support someone who's ambitious for themselves, and you're feeling that maybe you've got to choke off some of your desires. So those kind of equations could play out over the next couple of weeks. But it's important, if you do make a big push in terms of work, that whatever you're doing feels right. And that's what the moon in Scorpio is asking you to consider. The complexity comes from the T-square that Pluto creates. So one way or another, whether it's your professional or personal relationships, there could be some extra potential for politics over this next fortnight. Fortunately, Mercury does go direct on Thursday. And if you've been waiting for some important information or to have a meeting, things can really start to gain traction. Also, at the start of this week, Venus is in a glorious conjunction with the position of Chiron. I feel that that's really saying to you, when it comes to your own approach to how you relate to all sorts of people, that the more knowledge you can download, the better that can be. And never underestimate the charm, very Venus, that you can bring to situations. So even if there are some tensions that do need to be diffused over the next couple of weeks, your people skills will be very important in order to do that. Leo, we found that 55% of people who watch my videos are not subscribers. If you're one of them, I'd be very grateful if you would support the channel and click that subscription button now. Also, the bell notification symbol, so every time I drop a video, you get an alert. I hope you have a great week. Take care and goodbye.